I found out my ex was cheating on me while I was pregnant. I remember the exact night it all cracked. I was sitting on the nursery floor, folding tiny onesies, surrounded by baby wipes and half-built baby gear, when my phone lit up. A message from a number I didn't recognize, then screenshots, flirty texts, and right in the middle of it, I think I'm late. I was already very pregnant with his child when I found out he'd gotten someone else pregnant too. The truth came out fast. He didn't deny it for long. He called it a mistake. Said things just happened. Like he'd accidentally tripped and fallen into a second relationship. Her baby was due a few months after mine. Same father, different moms. 2 kids tied to one man who couldn't stay faithful for 9 months. When I confronted him, he didn't beg. He sold. "If you could just forgive me," he said. "We could raise the kids together. Big, blended family. It could still work." Like he was pitching a cute family sitcom instead of confessing to blowing up my life. I said no. I couldn't do it. Not while I was still carrying his child and his betrayal at the same time. That's when the apologies dried up and the insults started. Suddenly I was a stuck-up bitch who acted like being cheated on was the worst thing ever, like getting betrayed while pregnant was just an overreaction on my part. In that moment, something in me hardened. My priorities became crystal clear. Protect my baby, protect my sanity, and stop volunteering to cushion the consequences of his choices. We set up 50-50 custody when our son was born, because he is still our child and he deserves his father. But in the beginning, I refused to see my ex or his affair partner in person. I was hanging on by a thread as it was. My mom and his sister handled all pickups and drop-offs. He'd pull up, my family would handle the handoff, and I'd stay inside, breathing through the anxiety and reminding myself that boundaries are not the same thing as bitterness. Then came the baby supplies. If I bought clothes for my son, I'd get a message. "Can you send some over for her too?" If I bought diapers, bottles, wipes, anything, there'd be another message. "We're struggling. Can you share?" I was a new single mom, counting every dollar, stretching every box of diapers, making every outfit last. And they wanted me to help support their baby on top of mine. I finally said it plainly. I am not responsible for your child with another woman. I wasn't cruel about their daughter. I've never blamed her. I just refused to let them turn me into an extra parent for a child I did not create. After that, everything moved to a parenting app. No more casual calls. No more surprise, emotional monologues. If it wasn't about our son, I didn't have to see it. On his weeks, if he called, I'd answer in case of an emergency. Anything else? Ignored. As our son got older, the handoff changed, too. No more middlemen. Now, our cars park near each other, and my son walks from one to the other. No face-to-face contact needed. Just a 9-year-old crossing a few feet of pavement between 2 lives that never blended the way his father imagined. He knows he has a half-sister. He knows they share a dad and grandparents. He also knows I've never met her, and she is not my child. And he accepts that. Kids understand clear lines better than adults do. Then, a couple of weeks ago, my ex called while our son was with him. Seeing his name pop up still makes my stomach clench. I answered, because it was his week, and anything involving our son has to come first. He started with small talk about school and schedules, then dropped the real reason for the call. "So, wife is going back to work," he said. "We need childcare 3 days a week after school. You're already home with our son, so we thought you could just watch daughter too. It would help everyone out. 3 days a week, after school, for his daughter with the woman he cheated with, a child I have never met. From the same people who used to ask me to share baby stuff I bought for my son, like I was the obvious, free, built-in babysitter for the family they created while mine was falling apart. I didn't sugarcoat it. That will never happen, I said. Don't ask me again. He tried to spin it as doing what's best for the kids, but I shut it down and ended the call. He didn't stop. He texted. I ignored it. He messaged through the parenting app. Putting the same request in writing, like making it look official, would somehow make it reasonable. I replied once. I said no when you called. My answer is still no. Then, his wife entered the chat. She called, I ignored it. Then, she sent 10 texts, back to back. According to her, I needed to be a better mother and put my son first. She reminded me that her daughter is my son's half-sister, they're close in age, and they deserve to grow up together. She said I should love and accept her daughter, and that refusing to babysit was punishing the children. I read enough to understand the tone, shame dressed up as what's best for the kids. I felt my chest tighten, that familiar tug of guilt. The old instinct to fix things just so no one could accuse me of being the problem. And then I closed the messages and didn't answer her at all. That's when my ex changed tactics again. He started talking about everything they'd been through, her stillbirths, miscarriages after their daughter, the heartbreak and trauma. I don't doubt any of it. I truly wouldn't wish that kind of loss on anyone, but their grief doesn't turn me into their solution. Then he crossed another line. Our son came home and, in that careful way kids use when they've been coached, asked me if his half-sister could stay with us after school sometimes. It would help Dad, he said, and we could hang out. That wasn't his idea. That was planted. So I sat down with him and explained, his half-sister has a mom and dad, and they are responsible for taking care of her. I am responsible for him. I love him. I will always take care of him. But I am not a babysitter for other people's kids, even if they're related. He asked a few questions, processed it, and then went back to what he was doing. Kids can handle boundaries if you deliver them with love and consistency. My ex, on the other hand, kept pushing. He actually told me he was going to bring his daughter over to my house so I could meet her and we could talk it out and agree. If you come to my house, I told him, I will not answer the door. No more gray areas, no more almosts, just a locked boundary. When emotional pressure didn't work, he tried legal pressure. He went to his attorney to see if he could force me to babysit. There was brief contact between the attorneys. Mine basically laughed and said there was absolutely no legal ground to stand on. You don't get to drag your ex into free childcare for the child you had in your affair. His advice to me was simple. Hold the boundary. Keep saying no. Let his problem stay his problem. So that's where things stand. I am refusing to babysit my ex's daughter 3 afternoons a week. I'm refusing to let their finances, their pain, or their poor planning turn into my unpaid obligation. I'm refusing to let his wife twist being a good mother into sacrifice your own peace to fix our life. And I'm refusing to let my son be used as the emotional delivery system for their childcare needs. I am taking care of my son. I am honoring the custody agreement. I am not blocking him from knowing his half-sister. I am simply not auditioning to be their nanny.